I want to welcome you back to this training video. In this video we're going to cover when to arrive, how long to stay, what to do when you arrive, where to stand, and how to stand as well. Number one, when to arrive and how long to stay. We really like our workers to be prayed up and ready to go 20 minutes before service. That means you have your lanyard on, you've got your coat put away, you've got your purse put away, all that good stuff. So ready to serve at 20 minutes before a service starts. Now, there may be times when, if you have children, that the children's workers aren't quite ready to receive them. If it's a husband and wife and you got kids, here's what we want to see happen: that the wife, one of the parents, take the kids off and play with them, not in this area, but over towards the children's area, so that they can see when they're ready and they can get their kids checked in, and then that parent can come back and the two of you working. Now, the great thing at 20 minutes before, the traffic is fairly slow, but there could be some people that come a little bit earlier. You know, if they want to come and scope it out and not come when there's a big crowd and all that good stuff. So people come at different times, but it should be pretty slow. So, you know, at least 15 till the children should be checked in, no problem, and the other parent could come in and help, and that's when the traffic starts to pick up. So that's the way that it works best. I want to reiterate or state, and I know it'll be stated here at the end of this little section, that we don't want kids working or being in this area for a lot of reasons. You know, just think about going into a store and here you have somebody in there working, an adult, and you've got a kid on the counter that's coloring and another kid that's here, and you know, that's just unprofessional. It just doesn't happen. And there are reasons for that. You can't do your job adequately if you're trying to babysit at the same time. You'll have kids that are trying to get your attention, that are leaning against you, that are crying, that are whiny, that are pulling and tugging at your clothes, and if you're trying to have a conversation, it just doesn't happen. And you go, well, I can have them working over here, they can be coloring. It just doesn't look professional. And so, you know, we really don't want kids in the guest services area. So again, play with them. When they're checked in, you can come in, and then you can all work together. At the end of service, we want to make sure that this is staffed, of course, before people start coming back out of the auditorium. There are occasions, maybe it would be a good idea if some would come out, or if one would come out at the end of the sermon, because there are people that come out into the lobby who have been touched by a message, or they're having a hard time, or whatever. And I know that we intercept people a lot of times after a sermon. And that may be a scary thing, but you can listen to them and you can pray with them. I do want to say, and I know this is different at various campuses, I'm here at the 48th Street, and off to my left is Connecting Point. Our Connecting Point people are actually trained on how to, do this. If somebody comes out and they're upset, we want to pray with them and minister to them and connect them with some different key people or something like that. They're trained. So if somebody comes out and you want to take them over and connect them with somebody there, that would be fine as well. I know in Hannibal, guest service is out in the lobby, and really Connecting Point doesn't happen until after the service down front right now. At least that's what they're doing. And we are wanting to build them a bigger lobby, and maybe that will change at some time. But all the campuses are different. But what I'm saying is 20 minutes before, and then at the end of the service, make sure you're out here before people start coming out. If you want to come out and try to intercept people that are coming out after the sermon, that would be fine. Do want to reiterate, about the kids. Now, typically, I want to say this: after a service, the first 5-10 minutes you're going to be pretty busy, and then after that it starts to slow down. So maybe at that time a parent can take off and go get their kids and again play with them somewhere, around the kids area, just so it's not in this area. And then this parent can finish things up, and you'll be good to go. This next section I want to talk about what to do when you arrive. First thing, get your stuff put away, grab your lanyard, make sure the area is clean. Right now there's a few things here that don't belong and a little cluttered. Make sure it looks good and neat and tidy. Make sure your breath is clean as well. Make sure you have the materials out on the counter. And I like the setup here, and we've got room in this lobby. We have two people working here. what I like about these is this is bait for people, because you'll see people coming up and they'll start flipping through those, and that tells you right then that they're kind of a new person. They're trying to get some information about some stuff that we do here at the Crossing. And in this setup, we've got way over there, I can see somebody some people are bold, they'll come right up and they'll talk to you and ask questions. Some people will kind of sneak in, but this is just bait that you put in front of them, and because this could be stacked back here. But it's out here for a reason. And so be aware of that. You know, as you're scoping out the lobby, make sure you're keeping an eye on here. And if you see somebody going through some of the material, then step over and give them a hand. So make sure the material's out, that's nice and neatly stacked and all that good stuff. Make sure they're all stocked up, so you're not having to chase through boxes or whatever to find some of this information. It's good to grab a campus news and get familiar with what is going on at the Crossing so you can answer those questions. And then the last thing that we want you to do is to spend some time in prayer, and we've talked about that a few times in these videos, just in time for prayer about yourself, that God will give you the wisdom, and that God will give strength to those that are coming maybe for the first time wanting to know something and they're just not quite brave enough to do it. I want to talk next about where to stand. You know, if you've been to a trade show, there are some booths that are very warm and inviting, and some where people kind of walk out around them. They're afraid because of how it's laid out, where the person's standing. So, you know, we need to be very aware of that. It is good, you know, some of them you just have a counter. It's good to stand beside the counter. It's also good to stand, or beside the counter, and it's also good to stand behind the counter. Guests like this barrier. They feel a little bit safer if there's a barrier here. This, when you're standing out beside, is a little bit more inviting, and still I think it's safe enough for guests. Now, in our connecting point we have here at this campus, it's couches and all that, and people with lanyards, and they're going, man, I don't know about that one. That looks pretty risky. They're going to set me down and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that's basically it. Stand beside, stand behind, but make sure you're scanning the whole lobby wherever you stand. I do want to talk about how to stand. We're trying to create a warm environment, and you know, this doesn't work. You know, this doesn't work. You know, looking bored and all that stuff. So I have a few things here. Exhibit the fruits of the Spirit. We've talked about that, of love and joy and happiness and smiles and all that good stuff. Body language, no slouching, no leaning, no folded arms. I have seen this. Okay? It's not exactly what we're looking for. So you're just standing up good and straight, and you're looking around, you've got a big smile on your face. Your face is the next section. Happy, smiling, laughing. No scrunch up, frowning, bored look. Or just grumpy, or no expression, just blah. Proper attire and hygiene. Dress nice. Don't be underdressed or overdressed. No shorts, wife beaters. Make sure you're good and clean. And the last thing is no overbearing cologne or perfume, which is really not a problem. I've never come across that, but I like to put that in here. You know, if you're trying to talk to somebody and their eyes are burning and itching, then that's not a good thing. So that concludes this. This video will self-destruct in just a few seconds, and then we'll go on to the next video, which is very, very important video.